Hello students, let us look at question 9 in the 2015 paper 3. Part 8. The speed of a chemical reaction can be changed by increasing the pressure of reacting gases, decreasing the concentration of reacting solutions. Part 1. State the effect that each of these has on the speed of reaction. So you have learned this in the chapter speed of reaction. So we have to simply state the effect in this question. So, first of all, increasing the pressure of reacting gases increases the speed of reaction. And second, decreasing the concentration of reacting solutions decreases the speed of reaction. Second part, we will have to use our knowledge of reacting particles to explain our answer in part 1. So, we have mentioned that increasing the pressure increases the speed of reaction. So how do we answer this part? As pressure increases, volume decreases, and there are more particles per unit volume. This results in a higher frequency of effective collisions, and thus the rate of reaction is higher. For the second part, we mentioned that the decrease in concentration will decrease the speed of reaction. So why is this so? As concentration decreases, there are less particles per unit volume. This decreases the frequency of effective collisions, and thus the rate of reaction is lower. Let us look at part B of question 9. An experiment is to be carried out in a laboratory to measure the average speed of a chemical reaction. For part 1, we are supposed to choose and briefly describe a suitable reaction, and to describe the measurements we will make. So in order to measure the average speed of a chemical reaction, we can calculate the time taken for a product to be formed. So in this case, we can use the reaction between magnesium and hydrochloric acid and measure the average speed. So in this case, we can first start off by putting the equation. HCl plus magnesium will give us magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas, and we will have to balance this equation and state our state symbols. So from the equation, we know that hydrogen gas is actually produced, and we can measure the amount of hydrogen gas being produced in a given time. So in this experiment, a piece of magnesium is placed into a conical flask of hydrochloric acid. Hydrogen gas produced will be collected in a gas syringe attached in the diagram as shown. Use a stopwatch to record the volume of hydrogen gas every 20 seconds until the reaction is complete. So this will be how our experiment will be carried out. We can draw a diagram to aid in our explanation. So we can draw the diagram as shown. Let us look at B part 2 of the question. Describe how you would determine the average speed of your reaction. State the units in which the speed of the reaction can be measured. So as we have mentioned in part 1, to measure the average speed of a chemical reaction, in our reaction we have used the formation of product. So to find the average speed, of course we will need first of all the time, and second the volume of our product, which in this case is hydrogen gas. So first of all, we can plot a graph of volume of hydrogen gas in cm cubed against time. So the speed of reaction is actually proportional to the speed of the formation of the gaseous product. So for our unit, the average speed will be the total volume of gas produced divided by the total time taken, and the unit will be cm cubed per second. So we'll now look at the marks allocation. For part A, part 1, 2 marks are being given to state the effect of each of the reaction. So 1 mark will be given to stating the increase in the speed of reaction when pressure is increased, and the second mark will be stating that the speed of reaction decreases when concentration decreases. For part 2, 3 marks are being given for part 2. So the first mark will be to state that when the pressure increases, the volume decreases, and more particles per unit volume. So this will be 1 mark. More particles per unit volume will give us 1 mark. The second mark will go to the higher frequency of effective collision and thus a higher reaction rate. This will give us the second mark. And the third mark will be for the decrease in concentration. There will be less particles per unit volume. So this will be the third mark. For B part 1, 3 marks are being given for B part 1. So the first mark will be for the equation for the reaction. The second mark will be showing the diagram and stating that gas will be collected through the gas reach. And the third mark will be using stopwatch to record the product from every 20 seconds until the reaction is complete. That will be your third mark. For B part 2, a total of 2 marks will be given. So the first mark will be given for stating that the average speed will be the total volume of gas produced divided by the total time taken. So finding average speed will be the first mark, and the second mark will be given for stating the units.